Good morning. It's 6 o'clock on Good Friday morning. The fast began at midnight. I woke up with this thought. It's not new to me, but it's the one I woke up with. And there are a few thoughts that are more important to the future of the next 200 billion children. From his words in life, it's crystal clear that Jesus did not want to be the center of our lives. He would have been horrified by that, appalled by that, heartbroken by that. He would have seen it as a false himself being used as a false idol. He wanted loving to be the center of our lives. Love as I have loved. When did he ever think of himself? Love as I have loved. When was he the center of his life? Was he a cult to himself? When did he ask to be a cult to us? Love as I have loved. What was the center of his life? The Creator itself was the center of his life. His brothers and sisters that were suffering was the center of his life. Love as I have loved. And it's exactly because we don't do that. We've distracted ourselves in a million ways, few more than turning Jesus into a cult idol, displacing what he died to get at the center of our lives. All children, all humanity. It's precisely because we don't do that that we're in the final stages of turning the Eden of earth into a spinning, hellish prison for the next 200 billion children. Totally needlessly. If our only motivation was the economic well-being of our children, we would lay down our lives as unviolent soldiers for the joy of it. So that our children weren't third-rate global subjects to our brothers and sisters in India who are insane apathy are being turned into the economic powerhouses of the 21st century because we're turning over to India and China the most important, the most powerful industry on the planet, the power industry, which will be renewable energy in the 21st century. No one can argue that. At some point, fossil fuels will be gone, probably by mid-century, essentially, at our current burn rate. And our apathy, our inaction, is turning that industry over to India and China, particularly China right now. If the only reason were so that we did not beggar our children, did not destitute our children, by turning over that industry and by turning Earth into such a hellishly weather-violent place that our children needed to devote an estimated third of their economic lives, a third of their economic income, to simply trying to survive the storms, survive the flood tides, survive the hurricanes, survive the droughts, survive the famines, survive the wars over water and food. If our only concern were the economic future of our children and grandchildren, our lives would be truly and obviously the lives of unviolent soldiers to give our children a future. And we would be considered the most joyful generation for doing it. The time is now. There's a video log prominent on the upper reaches of my site, several places. Vid, it says, for video, Averting Ecocide by Dr. Hansen. It's his science, not mine. It's his statement of the science, a distillation of his statement of the science, ascribed to by 98% of the 3,500 PhD climate scientists on the planet. The only thing that changes in the science every day is it is stated of the science in different ways every day. Our forecasts today are worse than we thought they would be yesterday. And that's how it's been for the last 30 years. We have turned into death what Jesus tried to give us. He tried to give us the Creator itself, creation itself, our global brothers and sisters that are suffering or who will be suffering, our children who will be suffering. He tried to give us them as the center of our life. And instead, we turned and substituted a false idol, the worship of the man, which he never did, which he exhorted us in every way to make nothing the false idol, the Creator and our brothers and sisters. This my address to you on Good Friday.